Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ottavia and today is an exciting video that I am bringing to you, which is another embossing video. I made a video a couple of months ago with my first video where I emboss books, the books that are precious to me, that I want to keep it forever. So if you'd like to check it out first, please check the link down below so that you can see the books that I embossed prior. But today we are gonna do brand new books that most of them, or actually all of them, technically no, but most of them I read this year, and I want to keep these books with me forever and ever and ever and ever. So that's why we are gonna emboss them. So I have two duologies, one trilogy, and then two stems alone, and then one that it could be a start of a trilogy or series. We are gonna start with the first one. Grab a cup of tea, coffee, whatever it is. But also before we go ahead, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you wanna see my face a little bit more. So let's do it. The first one that I wanna emboss is Babel. Babel by R.F. Kuang is my first book from R.F. Kuang. I literally enjoyed it. I gave it a 5-star. I read it, I think, in June, and I was blown away. At first, I was a little bit afraid because, you know, it's not like the usual historical fiction book, because also it's quite heavy text. It's a lot about the discrimination and racism as well during the imperialism. There's a lot going on, but it's still like a good read nonetheless. One thing that I was a little bit afraid of is that this book is a lot also about translation, because basically we are following this kid called Robin Swift. It wasn't his real name, but he's been taken from where he was coming from Asia, to come to the UK now, and to use his language for translation and for also magic, because he ever used kind of the meaning of translation for some kind of magic. There's all the problems of not being white basically in this one, so there's a lot of racism against him and the other people that are actually in Babel, which is basically where all the people that are there to, you know, translate, and especially to help the empire to progress a little bit more. And here we are in Oxford in 1836. I had a really bittersweet ending, because anyway, it's not a good ending because you know what actually is happening during that time. So it was still tough to read, but she executed it so well, and I loved like some parts that I knew, and I know that she wrote it and it's her thing that she's saying, which is completely normal because she's an author, but I can see what she thinks of the situation of racist and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it, and I never get rid of. I just love this book so much. My next book is wnat and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. I loved this book so much. In the time that I started reading this book, I had a little bit of reading slump, and I didn't get the book until maybe more than halfway through, just because I think I wasn't reading an hour I was supposed to read in it, which is really weird to say. I don't know if you understood, but I think it was the wrong time for this book. But once I sat down and I read it for a couple of hours, I understood the magic that this book has. So I gave it a 4.5 star, and I want to reread it and I want to keep it. And I actually read it on ebook, but the cover is so beautiful that I was like, let me get it anyway, and I can't wait for the next installment, hopefully coming out next year. I'm not sure if it's going to be a duology or trilogy, but this story is about these diviners that they drown to basically give divination to people. The problem is that she's there for many years and she's finishing being a diviner. She has only a couple of months. Also with the other diviners, I think there are 6 of them. The thing is that something happened to the other diviners, that they kind of disappear, and she needs to understand what happened. So she goes to the journey with this knight. We discover how the world is with this divination, with these omens, and it's quite like a gothic fantasy in a way. I really enjoyed the story. It was going a little bit too fast in some areas, but I'm not sure from the ending and how it ended how it's gonna, it's gonna be used, what we actually discovered from this book. So I am still really excited to continue and hopefully I will like it. But I just want to emboss it because I still loved the everything, and hopefully I will have a second one because I read One Dark Window, which I still do have it, but I didn't like the second book when everyone loved the second book more. I still want to emboss it because this book I will never get rid of. Also, it's really beautiful, so I want to keep it forever. My next book is actually a duology, Daniel Jensen's Saga of the Unfated, which is A Fate Inked in Blood and A Curse Carved in Bone. I loved this duology. I know that some people didn't like it, didn't enjoy it. Therefore, the second one wasn't as strong as the first one, but I enjoyed the rage of this protagonist. So we are in this world of Vikings. In this world of Vikings, some people actually are born with the blood of a specific god. And the girl that we're following is Freya. She's been discovered that she has like a specific power than like a chief, I don't know if actually the name, I don't remember, really wants to conquer the world and to become basically the king. And she kind of fell in love with his son, but she's now engaged or married to the actual king and wants to become a king. Here you see the journey of Freya to understand her power more and to just not destroy herself basically. And I just loved it. So I have a beautiful limited edition of the second book and I am so in love, and I also have it signed as well. So I would never get rid of either way. So this is gonna stay with me, and I think I give it 4.5 for this one and 5 star. I enjoyed the second one more than the first one. Maybe I wanted a little bit more for the ending, but it was still like a good duology for me. I read it, both of them in May, on my birthday month, and I didn't know it was a duology, so it was so nice when I heard it. I was like, okay, let me just get this one, and I'm so happy that I had this. So this one's gonna get embossed too. My next one is the Letter of Enchantment duology by Rebecca Ross, with the first one being Divine Rivals and the second one Ruthless Vows. I read the first book I think in June and the second one in July, and I loved the characters so much. I think I give it a 4.5 star for both of them. Oh my god, I'm in love. I love Rebecca Ross' writing style in this one. I actually have another book from her which is part of this world in a way, but the story kind of happens before the Letter of Enchantment duology is in. It's basically about these two kids, Iris and Roman, and they are trying to become journalists. So they are kind of like a little bit of enemies because they want to become a columnist of his newspaper. The thing is that there's a war between these two gods, and Iris' brother, he's actually there fighting, and she hasn't heard from me in a long time. So what she does is like she just decided to not continue being a columnist on a newspaper, but to actually go near the borders of a war and be a correspondent with different newspapers. And the thing is about these two characters, they're connected, is that they started writing letters and they don't know that they're each other. So I loved it. I'm so happy I read it. People loved this one more than the second one. I love them both. Maybe on the second one, the ending could have been done differently, in my opinion, and that's why I didn't give it a 5 star. But the feels that this duology gave me, it was everything. So I'm gonna emboss those two. I loved them so much. Like, I love them so much. Now I have the last two. So this one like a new book, and I could be like, okay, maybe I should wait a little bit longer, but I'm not gonna get rid of this book. And it's Alchemized by Stanley Yu. I have a reading vlog where I talk about this book, which I'll leave it down below. I was consumed by this book. First of all, I have a limited edition from Waterstone, beautiful. Unfortunately, it's not signed. Oh my god, it's so pretty. It's so heavy, 1,000 page book, but it was worth my 1 week of reading because I was, like I said, consumed and obsessed by this book. In this book we are in a world where actually the bad guys managed to win. And we have Elena Marino that she's kind of discovered, but during the war, she was actually placed in some kind of area, and I think they forgot that she was in there. But I think she was kind of incubated in this area, and she's been found by, of course, the bad guys. She was part of the resistance before. And the thing about her is like they can't actually read her minds. There's something that is blocking them to see things. And she does remember anything about some areas of the war. So they're really interested to see why she has that. So she's been taken to the High Reef, and from there the story goes on. And here you have alchemy, you have necromancy, she's a healer, she does also some alchemy in there as well. Everyone is using this. You have different type of them as well. This one is also like a fanfic called Manacled, which it was like a depiction of Draco Malfoy and Hermione Granger fanfic, and you have a little bit of elements of seeing like who Elena Marino is and who also, you know, the main guy is. But I really loved it. It's a lot more into it. It's not really like a romantasy book, but there's this love that is is consumed them, and there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of abuse as well. So before you read this one, just double check the trigger warnings, please. But it's so much more. It's so much in depth. You read a lot of what's happening around, and you just been transported into this world, and it's gruesome. So just just check my reading vlog. So like this, you see exactly what I think of this book. But I enjoy it nevertheless. This is gonna stay with me, and it's gonna get embossed. And now the trilogy that is my favorite trilogy ever is in my top tier, and I finished or I read the last book in March or April that destroyed me. I'm gonna link that reading vlog down below, and I think people that knows me know that I talk about this trilogy a lot, and it's a library trilogy by Mark Lawrence, where you have the first book, the book that wouldn't burn, the second one, the book that broke the world, and the third one, the book that held a heart. The problem is that this book, the book held my heart, but then kind of broke it. And then it was horrible. You have to see my reading vlog where I talk about this book precisely, because I cried. Oh my God, it was such an emotional roller coaster of a series. And I loved every single thing about this trilogy. Actually, my boyfriend read the first book like a couple of weeks ago and really enjoyed it. So I'm so happy he gave it a 5-star like I did. I gave 5-star the first, second, and the third too. And now he can't wait to read the second book. But to not spoil it too much, this book is about this library in this world, where this library is quite big. There's a lot of things going on in it. And we're following two people. One is Livira. She lives in a really remote area. She's really illiterate, but unfortunately something bad happened. There are some creatures that destroy everything, kill everyone except the kids, and Livira as well, because Livira, I think she's 7 years old or 8 years old around this time. She's actually, after being saved by other mercenary people like that, and taken to the city where the library lives. And she's in an area where the kids are kind of asked to choose their path, but mainly people that are literate like her, that comes from a really remote area. They go to do like, you know, slaves kind of jobs, but she decides to just enter the library, and she managed to, and actually is a better feature compared to the other ones. And then we see Eva, and he actually is living in the library. So from him, we just gonna like see like how it is living in the library and what he discovers and all the hidden mysteries of the library itself. And there's more to it in this like synopsis that I gave you than anything. And I think it's just a book that you just get into it and you will enjoy it. The writing style, it's beautiful. I loved Mark Lawrence's style of writing, especially in this book, and I loved it. This trilogy is really dear to my heart, and that's why I kept it as last, because I still think about these books and I want more people to read this trilogy, so please do. So I'm happy that with my boyfriend we yap a little bit about this book, and I was so happy. So now I can't wait for him to get to the second one. But I loved this one so much. Compared to all the other books that I show you, this is my top tier, and I just loved it. Perfect. So you saw all the books that I want to emboss. I don't know if I can lift them all up, but you need to trust me, there are so many hardbacks and just one paperback, so I don't think I can kind of juggle everything around. But I love every single book in this stack, and I love them, and I can't wait for other people to read them if they haven't. So if you haven't read these books, just pick them up and try it and let me know in the comments. Or if you read them, just let me know what you thought. Maybe you didn't like them and I want to know why, because it's nice to see different reaction of people, especially, for example, other people maybe don't like the library trilogy, and it's like, why? What's the situation? What's the problem? And it's nice to know what other people like and don't like about a book. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so happy. So now I have them all in my bookcase, all embossed and forever with me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said before, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'm gonna see you in my next video then. Bye, ciao!